Hey folks, welcome back to Real Estate Investing Unmasked. Today we're going to talk about what happens after you've sold your house and it's time to move. So you've accepted an offer. It's now time for you to start figuring out, where am I going to go? Hopefully by now you've already started to look at other places that you're interested in. Now this could be that you're doing a full move. You're going from, say, California to Florida, California to Texas, maybe New York to New Jersey. I don't know where you're going. I just know that you're in the process of selling your house. And if you're living in that house, that means you need to start thinking about those moving expenses. Now, I have moved many times in my life, dozens of times. And I would say one of the most important things that you can do is, one, have another place where you're planning on going when you're trying to sell your house. But two, know how much it costs to move. If you're in the process of moving, it is possible to have your house sell and have a new house be purchased at approximately the same time, at least within a couple days of each other, so that you get the keys from this house to somebody else and you get the keys from this house to move into, all about the same time. It's not easy, but what I typically do when I'm trying to buy a house and sell a house simultaneously is I will try to buy the house with a week to spare, and that way there's a week overlap that I have the house, that I own the house, and I have a week to move in my stuff from the old house to the new house. Not everybody can do that. Why not? Because when you're selling a house, a lot of people use the funds from selling their house in order to make the down payment on the new house. So that can be pretty touchy. There are ways that you can simultaneously close, so you can take the funds from this sell and put it in the buy. There are ways that you can talk to the person that you're buying at the new property and ask them to lease the property to you prior to close of escrow. A lot of people don't like doing that. So what you may need to do, and this is the suggestion I have, the biggest suggestion when it comes to this, is finding an Airbnb, a 1 month long Airbnb. They do this. You can rent an Airbnb for a month, and a lot of times you get like a 50% discount or pretty close to it on some Airbnbs. It's a great way to have a place for you to go and stay. In the meantime, the cost for you to store all your stuff is going to be pretty high, but this is probably going to be the cheapest way to do it overall if you have a long time, short but long time, like a month in between selling the house and buying a new house. It's going to be a lot of work. If you move it yourself, it's going to be a whole lot of work. Hopefully you have some friends that can help you. If you're hiring a moving company, what you can do is you can get loaded into a box or into a storage container of sorts, and they can take that and store it on site for however long you need for it to be stored. And then when you finally close escrow on the new place, then you can move everything over. There are a couple of ways that you can research to find out how to make this transition go between the two, but there are many options. Another way that I have seen it work, and it has worked beautifully in the past, is when you're selling your house, ask for a lease buyback. Say, look, I want to give you the property, but I also want to buy this other property, and it's going to be much easier if I just sell the property, take my belongings, and move to the new property with no issues. Now, the people that are buying your property from you, they may be waiting for you to get out of there so they can move in, so they may not be open to that leaseback. But if it's a seller's market, you can ask for a leaseback. Say, look, we need 1 month to be able to buy the next place. And the reality is, when you're in the process of selling the property, because it takes between 30 and 90 days for you to close escrow, you'll get a good feel from your realtor about how much time you have left before you get to the new property. And you can delay your new property purchase based on when your property is selling. So you can say, this property closing is contingent on me buying the new house. You can work it that way. You can say, when we close escrow on this house, I'm going to lease back for 2 months or 1 month or 3 months, whatever it is that you decide, and you're going to give them a fair rental value for that. Buyers love that if they are business minded. I love that as as a real estate investor. I love it because I have guaranteed rent right from the get-go. I know that I'm going to collect a couple months that it's going to pay for my mortgage, and usually the first mortgage payment you don't have to pay because it's built into the loan when you buy the property. You don't have to pay the first month. You are delayed. So by them paying a rent payment, you're actually getting them to either help with the down payment, or you're getting them to help with your next payment or with the fix-up costs. So it's a wonderful thing to get a lease back. So if you're the seller, you're trying to get out and you're trying to buy a new place, ask for a lease back. Ask for them to rent the property back to you for a month or two while you close escrow on your new property. Once that's been approved, which is going to be early on in the process, then you're going to have time to find that other house and bid on it and be in the process of buying that one as well. So hopefully this answered some questions you had about what to do when you're selling your house and you want to buy another one to space that gap. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down in the comments down below, or reach out to me at www.watchbob on youtube.com, and I'll be glad to answer as best as I can. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.